Happiness is a lie, and you've been chasing the wrong thing. Stop. Before you click away, answer one question honestly. Has chasing happiness actually made you happy? You were told that happiness is the goal, that if you work harder, love better, heal faster, achieve more, think positive enough, you will finally arrive. And yet here you are, tired, restless, slightly disappointed, maybe even ashamed that it still isn't enough. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Happiness, as you were taught to pursue it, is a lie. Not because joy does not exist, not because life is meaningless, but because the version of happiness you are chasing was never designed to satisfy you. It was designed to keep you moving. And long before modern self-help culture exploded, Carl Jung saw this pattern clearly. He understood that what we call the pursuit of happiness is often just an elegant way of avoiding ourselves. In this video, I will break down 5 brutal reasons why chasing happiness keeps you empty. And at the end, I will reveal the secret Jung hinted at, the one shift that changes everything. Let's begin. 1. You're chasing a feeling, not a reality. Happiness, as most people define it, is a feeling, a high, a surge, a temporary emotional spike. You think, when I get the relationship, I'll feel it. When I get the promotion, I'll feel it. When I fix myself, I'll feel it. But feelings are unstable by nature. They rise, they peak, and they fall. That is not failure. That is biology. Yet you build your entire life around chasing emotional peaks. And when they disappear, as they always do, you assume something is wrong with you. Jung spoke about projection, the tendency to place our inner longing onto outer objects. We project wholeness onto a partner, meaning onto a career, salvation onto achievement. And then we are shocked when the projection collapses. The truth is brutal. You are not chasing happiness. You are chasing stimulation. And stimulation cannot sustain you. The more you chase the high, the more ordinary life feels empty. And slowly, you begin to believe something is missing inside you, when in reality, you have simply mistaken intensity for fulfillment. 2. You fear emptiness more than pain. Be honest. Silence makes you uncomfortable. When there is no distraction, no scrolling, no noise, no ambition to run toward, something unsettling appears, a quiet void. Most people will do anything to avoid that space. They fill it with productivity, relationships, entertainment, constant self-improvement. But Jung warned that what we refuse to face does not disappear. It waits in the shadows. The emptiness you avoid is not a flaw. It is a doorway. It is the part of you that has not been integrated, the parts you rejected, the desires you suppressed, the truths you avoided. Instead of sitting in that silence, you chase happiness as an escape route. You think joy will erase the void. But the void is not meant to be erased. It is meant to be understood. When you refuse to face your inner emptiness, you remain dependent on external excitement. And dependency is not freedom. It is subtle slavery. You are not unhappy because life is cruel. You are unhappy because you are running from the one place that holds depth. 3. You're trying to improve yourself. Instead of meeting yourself, self-improvement is the modern religion. Be better, be optimized, be healed, be evolved. But ask yourself, who decided you are broken? Jung's concept of individuation was not about becoming perfect. It was about becoming whole. And wholeness includes flaws, contradictions, impulses, light and shadow. When you chase happiness as a self-improvement project, you divide yourself. You reject the parts that feel messy. You push away anger. You deny jealousy. You hide fear. You create a polished persona. And then you try to be happy inside that persona. But the more you reject parts of yourself, the more fragmented you feel. If any of this feels uncomfortably accurate, pause here. Because this is where things change. If you are tired of constantly trying to fix yourself, and you feel that your pursuit of happiness has become another performance, I have placed a Jungian psychological practice in the description and pinned comment of this video. It is not motivation. It is not positive thinking. It is structured inner work designed to help you meet the parts of yourself you have been running from. If you are ready to go deeper than inspiration, that next step is there. Now let's continue. The cruel irony is this: the harder you try to become a better version of yourself in order to feel happy, the more you abandon your actual self. And abandonment creates emptiness. 4. You want light without facing your shadow. You say you want peace, but you avoid conflict. You say you want love, but you avoid vulnerability. You say you want happiness, but you refuse to examine your darkness. Jung introduced the concept of the shadow, the parts of ourselves we deny, suppress, or judge unacceptable. Modern culture teaches positive vibes only, but positivity without integration is fragile. It shatters at the first real challenge. When you chase happiness, you often bypass your shadow. You distract yourself from resentment. You spiritualize your anger. You reframe your pain without understanding it. But what you suppress does not disappear. It leaks into relationships. It sabotages success. It creates patterns you do not understand. And then you ask, why does happiness never last? Because happiness built on denial cannot survive reality. The life you want requires emotional depth. And depth requires descending into your shadow, not escaping it. The more you reject your darkness, the more your light feels artificial. 5. You confused happiness with being alive. Here is the final uncomfortable truth. Happiness is not meant to be permanent. You were never designed to feel good all the time. Life includes grief, confusion, doubt, boredom, anger, disappointment. And none of these mean you are failing. When you equate happiness with success, you interpret every difficult emotion as proof that something is wrong. But Jung understood something profound. The goal is not constant happiness. The goal is psychological integration. When you integrate your fears, your contradictions, your desires, your limits, something quieter emerges. Not euphoria, not excitement, stability. And stability is not flashy. It does not trend. It does not produce dramatic highs, but it sustains you. You stop chasing. You stop performing. You stop comparing. You begin to live. And this is the secret. Happiness is not a destination you reach. It is a byproduct of alignment. It appears when you stop running from yourself, when you stop demanding life feel good at all times, when you accept the full spectrum of your humanity. The irony is almost cruel. The moment you stop chasing happiness as a goal, you create the conditions where contentment becomes possible. Not because you achieved everything, not because you fixed yourself, but because you stopped dividing yourself. If this message has unsettled you, that is a good sign. Growth is rarely comfortable. And if you feel ready to move beyond insight and into real transformation, the Jungian psychological practice I mentioned earlier is waiting in the description and pinned comment. It is designed to help you stop chasing stimulation and start building inner structure, to face the shadow gradually, to develop emotional stability instead of emotional highs. Not for everyone, only for those who are ready to stop pretending. Happiness is not the enemy. The lie is the version of happiness you were sold. You do not need to feel good all the time to be whole. You need to be honest. And that honesty, brutal, quiet, grounded honesty, is where real freedom begins.